back to MTN's weekly news broadcast, and today we have some sobering news for all of you folks. As you know, World War I has taken toll on each and every one of us, but today one of our own cities is going through something devastating, tragic accidents to ever hit Canada. To take us through the story, we have Rajesh from Halifax, where it all took place. Out to you, Rajesh.
Thanks, Fernando. So today, Thursday, December 6, 1917, the Halifax port, which has been the port for the British Royal Navy for 3 years now, was doing its regular duty, carrying ammunition and supplies to and from Britain. At 8:55 a.m. this morning, the IMO and Mont Blanc ships were moving in the harbor, and somehow they had collided, causing a massive explosion of bombs and ammunition. This explosion was said to be heard from 3 kilometers away, as some Nova Scotians had put it. Speaking of Nova Scotians, we have one right here who's willing to talk to us. Mr. Cedric.
Howdy.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, fine. So we have a couple questions. You were the witness at the time of the explosion, so can you take it through this for us?
Yeah, sure, Rajesh. I was actually going to visit my granddaughter in downtown Halifax as she was feeling sick. And while I was walking, I saw these 2 ships in the harbor. And they were heading towards each other. I saw it unfold. Moments later, there was a huge explosion. It was crazy.
Wow, I bet it was. Thank you, Cedric, for your time.
See you later.
See you. Okay. Now on to our next witness, who was actually loading the ammunition onto the Mont Blanc earlier today. Mr. Ross, how did you witness the explosion?
It was a disaster. I had just finished putting the bombs on the ship, and I was walking back to go to the store to get a few things for home. I heard this massive explosion and flew 3 feet off the ground.
Wow, incredible. And now I think it's time to send it back to the studio, where we have Fernando with some new information for us.
That's right, Rajesh. We've just got a word that a man named Vincent Coleman, a train dispatcher to the Truro station in Halifax, to stop all trains that were entering the station. Moments before the explosion occurred, Coleman had apparently seen the IMO and Mont Blanc ships collide. Unfortunately, this was the last message Coleman would send, but nevertheless, he died as a hero.
Thank you, Fernando, for that report. And during that time, I was able to get a hold of Xavier, who was on one of the several trains Coleman had saved. Take us to the scene.
Yeah, I was taking the train to Truro with my wife. And all of a sudden, a guard runs through, screaming, "Get under the seats." My wife and I was confused to what was going on. Then, we were told that the captain of the train had stopped the train because of the shipwreck. And then, we looked outside, and my wife and I saw the explosion take place right in front of our eyes. The train went off rail, and we managed to escape.
And how many people were on that train, and how many survived?
I'd say there were about 200 people, and only a handful had survived.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, thank you, Xavier. It was a pleasure talking with you. Back to you, Fernando.
Thank you, Rajesh. Now don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short word from our sponsors.
Yo, man, life's getting kind of boring. You thinking about joining the war?
Why not, man? I mean, both of our parents are dead anyway.
Let's do it. But promise me one thing. We'll stick together. My word.
Our country's at war, and that means the men of our nation need to serve and sacrifice their personal lives. If you're eligible to join war, call 1-800-JOIN-WAR. That's 1-800-JOIN-WAR. Call now and get a free appointment today. Thank you.
Welcome back to MTN's weekly news broadcast. And during this break, I was able to get a hold of some final stats about the explosion. To help us with this, we have our statistician, Mr. Sucre, who will be presenting the results from the explosion. All yours, Mr. Sucre.
Thanks, Fernando. So the final stats are 2,000 dead, 9,000 injured, thousands more homeless, and it appears to be that it was the largest man-made explosion in Canadian history.
Wow! Today, a gruesome piece of history has occurred in Canada. I hope all of you stay safe tonight and for the remainder of this war. My name is Fernando Ellington, and I wish all of you good night. And thank you. See you next week.
Of Nova Scotians, we have one right here who is willing to answer some questions.
Okay, so sorry.
He's supposed to come in.
Okay, wait, I'm later.
Thank you and welcome back to MTN's weekly news broadcast. And today we have some sobering news for you folks. As you know,
Nova Scotians, we have one right here who is willing to talk to us. Mr. Cedric, how are you today?
Howdy, how are you?
Good, good. So Mr. Cedric, you were a witness at the time of the explosion. Can you take us through it for us?
Yeah, sure. Sure. Okay, sure. Okay, yeah.
Is it counting?
Yeah.
Okay. Now on to our next witness, who was actually...
Oh, time out. Bro, dude, they find your face.